yung sa akin. Ang sinasabi ng publiko ngayon, nanonood sa atin, dapat you should not resort in too much technicalities kasi ang public interest ang iniisip nila rito. They want to expedite the proceedings. They want the trial, not rules. They're interested in the trial, not rules. In the interest of justice, sabi nga nila, sometimes rules are not sacrosanct. But itong nangyayari ngayon dito, ang publiko ang importante rito. Where does the Constitution emanate from? From the public. From the people of the Republic. So, desisyonan nyo na to, Mr. President, para matapos na.
Mr. President, can I have my 2 minutes?
Once again, let me reiterate the position of the chair. My humble position is that this matter should be discussed during plenary when the Senate is convened as a legislative body. And may I ask the gentleman from Taguig if he is objecting to this position?
Yes. I'm objecting that position and will call for a vote. May I explain? I think under the rules I can explain why I'm asking
We'll
for a
call
vote.
for a vote first.
Mr.
And then
President,
we'll
can explain,
allow...
Mr. President, under the rules I can explain why I'm calling for a vote first so that I can convince them to vote for me.
No, under the rules, there's an objection. The vote will proceed without any explanation.
No, Mr. President,
and after that, we will
rules,
allow the gentleman from Taguig to explain his vote.
Mr. President,
So we call for a division of the House. So those who are...
Mr. President, when you object, you're
those-
allowed to explain your
Senator-
objection and state
Senator
your objection.
Lacson is recognized.
Thank you. Your Honors, pursuant to Rule 2 of the Rules of Procedures on Impeachment Trials, as amended, I move to elect Senator Judge Francis Joseph Guevara Escudero as the presiding officer of this impeachment court.
Objection, Mr. President, and may I allow to...
We proceed
Objection,
to...
Mr. President, I'm allowed to object and I'm allowed to
Yes,
explain
you're
my
allowed
objection.
To object, you're allowed to object, but we will proceed
Mr.
with
President,
the division
Mr.
of
President,
the House.
point of
So
order.
those who are,
Point of order,
those
Mr.
who
President.
are in favor of the
Mr.
motion
President,
of Senator
you're allowed to
Lacson,
explain para
please-
ma-convince mo nga
please
yung
raise
iba.
your hand. We will vote by raising of hands. So those who are in favor of the motion of Senator Lacson electing Senator Chis Escudero as the presiding officer, please raise your hand. The clerk of court is directed to count the votes.
No, in our rules, parliamentary procedure.
How many? How many?
Explain my vote, Mr. President.
Hold on. Allow the chair to make a ruling. Those who are against to the motion of Senator Lacson electing Senator Chis Escudero as the presiding officer, please raise your hand. Ilan? The official count is 12 in favor, 8 against. The majority, those who are in favor, has it.
Mr. President,
The
may I
court
explain?
resolves to elect Senator Chis Escudero as presiding officer of the impeachment court. The duly elected presiding officer shall, under the same oath taken on May 18, 2026, immediately assume and exercise all powers, functions, duties, and prerogatives pertaining to or vested in a person presiding over the impeachment trial under the rules of procedure on impeachment trials, as amended, and shall give full effect to the powers inherent to the courts under Rule 135, Section 5 of the Rules of the Court.
Mr. President, may I now explain my vote?
You are allowed to explain your vote. You
Mr.
have 2
President,
minutes.
first of all, we cannot violate the Constitution. We put the whole impeachment trial at risk here. What Senator Tito Soto, former Senate President, what his staff did not tell him is that there is such a thing as procedural due process, and that who presides goes into due process and fairness. The Latin term that he mentioned was for enumerations. That when there are enumerations at hindi kasali doon, in this case, there was a statement that in only one case it would be the Chief Justice, because member of the Constitutional Commission who became Chief Justice, Davide, was going to amend precisely the Constitution to state the Senate President shall preside. But upon explanation by the sponsor that it is understood that it is the Senate President, then it should be the Senate President. And dun sa sinabi ni Senate President Soto that ang gusto ng tao ay mag-umpisa na, precisely, kanina pa dapat tayo nag-umpisa kung nag-preside ang Senate President. Secondly, this is when you have threshold issues, issues that go into due process fairness. If we're going to say that ang gusto ng tao i-convict na lang, then let's just blurt it out. Now, if we're going to say we want a fair trial, let's make sure that every aspect of this trial is fair. So that's why, Mr. President, if you read the rules, the presiding officer shall have the power to make an issue by himself or by the Secretary of the Senate all orders, mandates, writs, authorized by these rules of the Senate, and make and enforce such other regulations, orders, premises that the Senate may authorize or provide. Nandito din, Mr. President, that the Senate President may by himself, or bottom line, Mr. President, pwedeng mag-decide ang Senate President o sa atin. And Mr. President, there are issues that goes into fairness. You know, the AMLA will be a witness here. And I have information that the 20 years AMLA records of Senator Escudero and his credit cards and bank accounts were all opened up in the office of the Senate President, where members of the Blue Ribbon Committee was here. Then we're going to ask him to preside. So there's a problem with, this is my explanation. This is my explanation.
To the gentleman
This is
from Taguig.
factual and this is my explanation. So I will stop there.
With all due respect, your statement's already out of order. It has nothing to do with the topic on hand.
No, Mr.
And
President.
the presiding officer will strike off.
It has all to do with this.
Will strike off
It has all to do.
the
I do not,
statements
Mr. President,
pertaining to Senator
Mr.
Escudero.
President, kaibigan ko si
I
Senator
direct the
Escudero.
stenographers to
I
strike
don't
off
doubt
these
him.
statements.
He is the victim here. I'm not doubting him. I'm not doubting he will be fair. I am saying, we want a fair
suspend
trial
the
or not,
session
Mr.
for a few
President?
minutes to request the presiding officer, Senator Chis Escudero, to ascend the rostrum. Session
Mr.
suspended.
President,